Hello, let's look at solving this equation here, finding all solutions between 0 and 360 degrees. So these are tough because there are many steps. But the first thing you need to do is get this sine part by itself. So we're going to subtract root 3 and divide by 2. So now we're solving sine 3x equals negative root 3 on 2. We need to figure out how many solutions there will be, because otherwise how can we be sure that we have all the solutions? So you know that if we were solving sine of x, so just x by itself equals negative root 3 on 2, we would expect this equation here has two solutions between 0 and 360. So because this is a sine 3x, there are 3 times as many solutions. We expect this will have 6 solutions between 0 and 360. So if you're wondering why that is, just think about the graphs of sine x and sine 3x. Instead of having one peak every 360 degrees, sine 3x has 3 peaks every 360 degrees. In other words, there are 3 cycles of this graph per 360 degrees. So what we do to solve this equation, we get our first solution using our calculator. So what we're doing with our calculator, we're taking the sine inverse of each side. I want x by itself, and sine inverse and sine undo each other. So I'm left with 3x equals the sine inverse of negative root 3 on 2. So I believe if you put sine inverse of negative root 3 on 2, your calculator will say negative 60 degrees. Of course, this is a problem. This is actually outside the range of 0 to 360. What we can do is simply add 360 to our solution of negative 60, and we get 3x equals 300, or x equals 100. That's our first solution. So we can get another solution to this part here. So we know sine of negative 60 equals negative root 3 on 2. So using our rule, sine of 180 minus theta equals sine of theta, to get another solution, so 3x equals 180, subtract negative 60, so 3x equals 240, and that gives us x equals 80 degrees. So we now have two solutions, and we said before in total. So once you have two solutions, we can use the period to help us get the other solutions. So we know that for sine or cos of bx, the period is just 360 over b. So we know here the period is going to be 360 divided by 3, because b is 3, which is 120 degrees. So what I can do is I can just keep adding or subtracting 120 degrees from these two solutions, and that will help me find the other solutions. So for x equals 100, we will also have the solution of 100 plus 120. We'll also have the solution of 220 plus 120. If I add another 120 here, I'll get 460, which is outside the range. X equals 80, we can find another solution by adding 120, and then I can add 120 again. So here we have 6 solutions now. The first one came from our calculator, the second one came from the unit circle or the trigonometric identity, and once we had 2 solutions, we can use the period to find the remainder of the solutions. So if you were given the same question but asked to find x in radians, do all your calculations in degrees and then change your answer back to radians. For example, 100 is 5 over 9 pi radians. Alright, hope this video has been helpful. Good luck studying. Keep your head up.